to live together as brothers and sisters. Without togetherness, we won't have no peace of mind. Unify and have a peaceful home. Sweet Liberia, land of liberty is our home. Keep it standing. This is the one and only home that we have. Sweet Liberia, this land of liberty is our home. Let us keep it standing. It's the one and only home that we have. Oh, sweet Liberia, love is all we need to make a stand. Unify and have a peaceful home. Change is all we need to make a stand. Let's unify and have a peaceful home. Sweet Liberia, land of liberty is my home. And let us keep it standing. It's the one and only home we have. Say sweet Liberia, this land of liberty is my home. Keep it standing. This is the one and only, the one and only, the one and only. Sweet Liberia, love is all we need to make a stand.
Welcome to Issues of Today, live on Liberia Public Radio. From Morovia is 5:14 p.m. and of course in uh, the US is 1:14 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Wherever you are, welcome to a brand new edition of Issues of Today live on Liberia Public Radio. My name is Mark Dan. Edward Colley is my colleague. Together, we're going to be bringing you some of the trending issues from Liberia, issues that, of course, are very paramount to the growth and development of our country, Mama Liberia. We're going to be bringing it just right to your doorstep. Edward, welcome.
Thanks, Mark. Welcome to the show. Again, this is Liberia Public Radio, live from Monrovia.
Yes, indeed. So many trending issues we're going to be talking about today. In case you just joining us, Edward will just let the cat out of the bed. Before we do that, let's just take this break. Okay, welcome back to Liberia Public Radio. Mark Down and Edward Colley. We are here every Tuesday and Thursday, ensuring that this show goes on as it's supposed to be. So, in case today is the very first time joining us, I want to say thank you for joining us from our Liberia studio here. I want to say thank you and thank you ever so much for joining us, Edward. It's over to you. What are some of the trending issues today that we're going to be looking at in our country?
The former vice president made a
Yes,
very an unusual radio appearance yesterday
yeah.
on Tim Mark's July 50 show for about an hour and 30 minutes. He said a lot of things. He was quizzed about why he was dismissed by Samuel Doe and then Amos Sawyer, head of interim leadership at LPR-TV. He talked about his accomplishment. He said he had done a lot in this country, but he's not, always in a position to be on the radio explaining what he has done. And the Association of Liberian Journalists in America also got an issue with some top guys at the Liberian Senate, Senator Prince Johnson and other Councilor Viney Sherman. They want the two senators quit their position.
Yep.
And there is this report from Front Page assessing President Weah job creation promise, the Liberian business climate, where he said Liberians will not be spectators in our economy. How far are we? How many jobs have been created? Given Liberian current status, how far is the economy?
Yeah.
Some of the big promises they made before coming to power. We're going to be looking at that as well. And there's rumor circulating that Westergaard Finley
Yeah.
some more. Oh, you do that some more. Oh, you do that some more. Oh. Ni makasabi, kalonia, kasabi, kalonia, kasabi, kalonia. Blale bebe zele ya blala le ding ding. Everybody do the some more. Let's do the some more. Everybody do the some more. Let's do the some more. Somewhere's a free music, yeah. Somewhere's a free.
Again, our sincere apology due to some technical hitch up here. We are hoping that this is corrected now. We are hoping that this is corrected now as soon as possible. Uh, Everything is on course, hopefully, but let's.
Protect yourself, protect your family, protect your country. It's real, it's real. Coronavirus is real. Oh, it's real, it's real. Coronavirus is real. My people, it's real, it's real. Coronavirus is real. Watch and pray. It's real. Coronavirus is real. Protect yourself. It's real. Go opens a person. Brothers and sisters to the world. Let every nation worship in Jesus' name. In Jesus' name. We bound you. Destroy you. In the name of Jesus. We stop you. Rebuke you. In the name of the Lord. We don't want anybody sick, anybody die. We don't want anybody sick, anybody die. Oh, it's real. It's real. Coronavirus is real. Oh, it's real. Coronavirus is real. My people.
Sincere apologies for that due to some technical hitch up here. We're hoping that everything is now okay, and we're going to continue with this broadcast. In case you just joined us, this is Issues of Today. We've been talking about several other issues here. Again, our apology for some of the breaking you've been receiving due to some technical hitch up here. Again, we're hoping that everything is going to be perfect. And so yesterday, former Vice President Joseph Newman Baka appeared on one of the local stations here. He made several staggering revelations about the government, saying that, and one of the stories that we, Library Public Radio carry was that he said lack of good leadership. Yeah, Edward. He spoke about lack of good leadership.
Right?
It is what this government, this is why this government has, according to him, in his own words, is not been performing.
He talked about a rocky road. He said you cannot drive straight
Yes.
on a rocky road, meaning the system, the system and the governance system got a problem.
Yeah.
So there's a need to work on it. There's no way you're going to attract investors. You're going to see people coming.
Yeah.
You're going to see investor business people coming. So he said, yeah, there was an issue with the governance structure. At the end, he said they may not have run a very perfect government, but to a certain extent, they did some good job and they left some things here that the current government have derailed.
Yeah.
So in the end, he was in the interview. Was like he's placed in the middle. You are a former vice president wanting to be president. Anytime you want to talk about issues of the day, someone will say, "But you were there."
Yeah, you were there. You were there.
And what did you
So,
do?
it's not new to him because he was there. He was there for a period of 12 unbroken years. So 12 years, not just more than a decade, almost a decade and a half. So many at times people will blame me and say, but Mr. Bwaka, you were there. What different you didn't do and now you want to do it? But again, we understand the
You've worked for months to bring your or your client's event to life, but unfortunately, the world had another plan. In reality, the only thing you lost is the venue. We take your vision for hosting a virtual conference and bring it to life online. No matter how complex your agenda is, we produce a smooth, engaging experience. Call the Liberia Public Radio today and schedule your event. Our number is 682-433-8802. If you prefer to submit your request via email, please send the request to liberiapublicradio2012@gmail.com. Our staff are standing by waiting for your phone call.
Protect yourself, protect your family, protect your country. It's real, it's real. Coronavirus is real. Oh, it's real, it's real. Coronavirus is real. My people, it's real, it's real. Coronavirus is real. Watch and pray. It's real. Coronavirus is real. Protect yourself. It's real. For all things are possible. Brothers and sisters, tell the world. Let every nation worship. In Jesus' name, in Jesus' name, we bound you, destroy you. In the name of Jesus, we stop you, rebuke you. In the name of the Lord, we don't want anybody to say, anybody die. We don't want anybody to say, anybody die. Oh, it's real, it's real. Coronavirus is real. Oh, it's real. Coronavirus is real. My people, it's real. Coronavirus is real. Watch and pray. It's real. It's real. Coronavirus is real. Protect yourself. It's real. It's real. The whole world is crying. People die. Protect yourself now. Time is real. Watch and pray. Watch and pray. Coronavirus, we hit him. Coronavirus, we bound. Coronavirus, we cast it out. We shall stand. We shall prevail as a nation. We shall stand. We shall prevail in Jesus' name. In Jesus' name, in Jesus' name. Oh, it's real. Coronavirus is real.
Come back on issues of today. Sorry, and I will be facing with our microphone system, but we're hoping that everything is now set and ready. I guess we are now okay now because of the problem we've been facing. So everyone can just continue. I think we are very much perfect now. Yeah. Yes, continue. Let's continue. Let's continue.
You know, we were talking about the role of Vice President Boakai in the UP government. And you know, he wants to be president, and the UP government many didn't see as that perfect. So Eli is down the stage now. He wants to be president.
Yeah.
So you will see most of your question will come back, but you were there. What can you do extra there? What you supposed to? What you should have done? But then his excuse can be, I didn't have the authority to take some of the gracious decision that was supposed to be taken for the governance of the country. I was there providing and giving my little assist I could provide, but critics will not bow that, and critics will come by hating that there's nothing you can do. Even if we gave you the country, you were around for 12 years, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, I mean, it's clear that the position of a vice president is different from that of the position of the president. The
Yeah,
president is the head of this,
of the
is the
country.
head of state, and so he or she does the day-to-day activities of the country. And the president at time, even it was a certain point in time that the vice president complained that he was not being consulted on some issues. So again, uh, vice president position, it seems to be a nominal position in Africa.
No, it is for our setting,
Yeah,
but people
I
can
think it's
try.
not only in Africa; it's globally. Because how known are vice presidents around the country? The current president of the United States of America, for example, Joe Biden. Joe Biden was not a known figure when during the presidency of uh, um, during the presidency of former President Barack Obama. Yes, though he was talked about, but
Yeah,
he was not
he
a
was
popular figure.
he was a
Unlike the speaker Nancy Pelosi and other and other Democrats, or I mean other Republican congressmen and women.
Joe was a 35 years old senator,
Yeah.
legislator. So when he took on the role of the vice president now, he can be combative as you will be as a senator in the legislature. So you have to play that role. And our laws, I was chatting with the CEO last night. We were talking on there. I said, I'm not very satisfied with our laws, the kind of rule given our vice president. So sometimes some of them when they are campaigning for vice presidency, they make the job look like extra.
Yeah.
That the decision for the governance of the country lies in their hands. So they won't make other people, they won't make others to the voters to look at other people like if to say they got doing the offer or they did do nothing. You are guided by constitutional principles. You say you go to cabinet meeting, you exercise certain function if the president deem necessary.
Yes.
And if the president deem appropriate. So many of your functions you exercise, you are told to do so by your boss.
Yeah.
But in our setting, is politics now. A lot of people try to make issues out of it, but it will always be around him in these elections time as long as he wants to be president.
Somebody is counter reacting that Joe Biden was not a popular. I mean, he was not a known figure heard about across the
No,
world.
he was not a popular. You can be there's no popular vice president. Joe was a popular senator.
Yes.
Before becoming vice president. When he
That's
became
what I'm
vice
saying. That's what I'm
president,
saying. I don't know why.
Joe was a well-known senator when he became vice president. When he became vice president, now Obama took this.
I'm not saying this that he was an unknown figure.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that current President Biden was an unknown figure. No. He was never an unknown figure in the United States.
United States, but in your capacity as vice president now,
he was not a popular person.
The president takes. Well, in fact, in one of their debate when they were going for the Democrat election,
so those are glaring facts around the world.
In one of their debates when they were going for the Democrat election, somebody asked him, what advice you give Barack Obama that he did listen, that you think you can do different? He said at the debate that every conversation Obama had was privileged. I ain't got to tell you that it was privileged. It's an opportunity for the president to even tell you, to even ask you for an advice. It's not in their, it is not a right. It's a privilege. It's an opportunity for the president to tell you, Joe Biden, how is it? What do you make of these things? Or can you go somewhere and talk on behalf of the country? Can you do this? Can you do that? So it is. He said he wouldn't say it's a privilege for the president. So the past presidency of the country, in many instances, like I told this people, I said, Manasere was a very difficult politician. Yeah. Some politicians here that I know, they Manasere could not even have crossed the line if they were the vice president to her, because she's a radical kind of a person. And then Joe Walker said that when he was asked to actually define the word squander, and they're asking, what do you mean by the word squander? He said he feels that life should have been done.
Yeah.
They did some, and he feels that life should have been done. And the argument was that when people hear about the executive, they just feel that the executive is the president. He said the ministers play major role in making the president succeed. So his argument was when the minister who Malam Salif hired were only concerned about life after government.
Yeah.
What they could be when they leave from power, what they could have when they leave from power. They were not concerned about the country, they were not concerned about things getting done, to get things done. So he talked about sometimes when he's privileged to sit with Malam Salih when they're having some conversation about the country. And when Malam Salih said, Joe, what do you make of it? He can say, everything bows down to implementation.
Mm-hmm.
We have to implement what we're saying here. Your ministers have to implement what you're telling them to do. If they don't implement, we will not go where we want to go. So in other capacity, he was the vice president. And that's how it is. That's just how it is in our country. If you see Joel today, they kind of possessed my Oma.
And then Joel said that she would have been a formidable vice president that won't be
it will not be a race car park.
A race car park, like former VP Bwaka would say, a race car park. She's gonna be a running car, like the vice president.
So Joe says, the questions Joe also asked about why he was sacked.
Yeah,
by Doe, and that's one of the issues many of his critics have raised with him.
Yeah.
So supposedly the man got 42 years working experience in both private and public sector. Somebody called the radio. Somebody said, how can you say you got a good record with a kind of a terrible record? You were dismissed.
You
were dismissed by Doe.
Dismissal should not be like, sometimes
there are reasons for dismissal.
There are reasons and sometimes a very administrative reason is not probably because you did something very cruel or something very unethical or wrong, but sometimes it's based on the discretion of your boss. You can be dismissed.
He said what he explained was that he said he went to Yekepa. I think they were doing some agricultural work there. He went to Yekepa. Then the county chairman of those political party, NDPL, NDPL. So the guy said to him, will you meet us at the party headquarters?
Yeah.
In Nimba. Then he asked the guy, he said, where is the party headquarters? Then the guy said, oh, you mean you are a minister and you don't know where the party headquarters is? So the guy took issue with it. Then he was there.
It was an offense to
them. So according to him, at that time, everybody is assumed to be a member of NDBL.
Yeah.
So if you are not a member, you find yourself in trouble. So the guy said, oh, are you telling me that you are a member, you are a minister, and you don't know where the party headquarters is located here? So the guy, there he was when he got his letter of dismissal. So he said, according to him, it took too long for Doe to replace him. Yeah, it took a very long time for Doe to replace him. So he was not dismissed for financial malpractices or it was administrative reason. And according to him, the president got his right to hire and fire. So there's no justification that he was sacked because he took somebody money. He always lived in his means. But you always face these questions as you go along the line in his political ambition.
Okay, you're watching LPR-TV live from Monrovia, Liberia. This is Issues of Today. It's a program that sets the agenda for discussing issues of national concern, issues that have to do with the growth and development of our country. We discuss it right here and find some amicable solution to it. If you feel strongly about any of the topic that we're discussing here, we will later on open the telephone line so that you can make an input. If you are in the US, if you are in Liberia or wherever you are, you can make your input. You can text us. You can make your comment, and definitely we're going to be reading your comments. We live on our YouTube channel, Liberia Public Radio YouTube channel. We are also on live on our website, www.liberiapublicradio.com, and you can visit our website and then see all of what we are talking about. All of the latest stories we are talking about are all on our website. You can also go to our Twitter page and then talking about on our Twitter information. So yes, so many things. And one thing that former VP Bwaka was talking about is the issue of a new political phenomenon that quote unquote he was trying to introduce, the arts, LPR-TS. He said it is about agriculture, a road, and that of
tourism and sanitation.
Yeah, tourism and sanitation. So, and that he said this time around that will be his main focus. Not he won't be focusing on other issue. He has said that these are issues that are actually confronting Liberia or policy. It's not about it's not about it's a problem according to him that Liberians need to really take into consideration. Actually,
Yeah, I think his best legacy,
yeah,
and if anybody is to track him
yeah,
about his legacy is not about his 12 years vice president.
hmm
I think his legacy is more often in the agricultural sector
yeah,
when he led LPMC and that the Ministry of Agriculture.
hmm
And LPMC, when it was founded by the World Bank back in the 70s, they were the group of people recruited to
hmm
go there and do some job at LPMC there. But then he was in Lofa. I think the LPMC did a very great job. Most of the cocoa farms, the coffee farms, you go across the county, the county, especially Bong, Nimba, and Lofa, they still got our structures there. Later on, Madam Salif came, they changed LPMC to Lagra
yeah,
to get involved with productivity, agriculture productivity. I think that it's in that sector that he came to prominence. There, people got to know him when you hear people talking about him up country in Nima, in Bong, in Lofa, especially the elderly people who were around then. I think there they got to know him. His a bigger legacy is in that sector. So this is why every time he talk about, he said when he becomes president, the first 6 months, no minister leaves the country, go to rural Liberia, see how the people live. If you are agriculture minister, go and meet
Yeah.
the people in the interior, talk to them, talk to the farmers, and come back and make policy so you can
Because-
be presented to partners.
yeah. I think he's taking clue from the presidency of his former boss, President Selig, where almost 70 to 80% of the ministers were people who came from the United States of America. They were in based there, so they couldn't feel the actual pinch of issues that people on ground were actually following.
Yeah. And that's why he said in our interview, he said there were ministers who were much worried
Yeah.
about their life after government. He said there were other who concern was to work and pay their mortgages as well.
Yeah, sure.
In the United States. So apparently he may not have been satisfied with certain things on the Madam Sali era.
I could check
But-
more than 50 ministers and directors and some corporate executives that were appointed. They were even living in Liberia, but they came from the United
Their
States. of
families were
America.
not even based here.
No way.
The excuse
Some were living in hotels until they returned.
the excuse provided there was that
They had some expertise.
expertise, brain drain.
Yeah.
The war, the university was not functioning, was not active.
Yeah.
So you needed people to come and set the system. Some did try, but some took a lot of money away.
Mhm.
And the Salif administration didn't have the kind of might to prosecute some of them. And some of the others are still lingering around. We wondering why Mr. President is also doing about some of those others report. But from the interview yesterday, I sensed that Joe was not quite happy with some of the ministers that were around, but he did not hire them anyway.
Yeah.
His boss did. And
He wasn't in the position to do any changes that could effectuate any stuff.
the only position he was in was to say, no, madam, let's do it this way.
Yeah.
Let's do it this way. Let's go this way. If madam accept, fine. If madam doesn't accept, then fine. That's it. They move on and he play his role. He preside over the Senate, and then the life goes on. So in the interview yesterday, he was hit hard a little bit. The issue of his mental health came on. Whether President, we are giving money to go do heart surgery. He said, no, I didn't do heart surgery. He talked about a peacemaker, certain thing that is put on the heart. He talked about it.
A peacemaker is the next procedure almost to a heart surgery. So is there to regulate the heartbeats. Yesterday I did make some uh, study about it. Is a procedure that controls the heartbeat. Sometimes probably either high or low or slow.
So that's why he said
Yeah.
yesterday. He said, but he didn't do
No,
the heart
yeah,
surgery.
yeah.
He said he's fit, he's mentally strong.
And what I read from that study was that even if you go through that, you can mean to play football. You can do some physical stuff. Yeah.
So that's it on the vice presidency. Your man, Ajay and the Association of Library Journalists, they
Yeah.
say
They issued
Senator.
very strong statement yesterday. Uh, so these are things that we're going to be looking. We need to look at.
They won senator, but I don't know why since the issue of vanishment it taking too long for the Senate to act. Were they waiting for the U.S. embassy a letter before they could talk about vanishment? It got months now since the U.S. State Department talked about freezing his asset for Georgia, for bribing judges, influencing judges' decision and here and there for corruption. I don't know why the guys were waiting for. Should we just say our president should be ceremonial while Washington, our government should be ceremonial while Washington keep taking decision on our behalf? Because except Washington speaks, we don't seem to be ready to take action.
Yeah. Again. The issue of integrity, it should be something practical. Liberia is not a new country for taking some very serious integrity issue. It's not a new country. Again, one may argue with it with this again, but Liberia is not a new country for the issue of integrity. For example, there were several unethical issues at the parliament, and people were asked to relinquish their position, and they didn't do until they were being removed. So again, our country, the issue of integrity is just a different issue, and that's cut across Africa. That issue that has to do with some level of integrity issue, wherein when it is in the West or in Europe or other places, that particular person will be relinquishing he or she position. When it's in Africa, it's just a different ball game. People even those who speak against us, they are even verified.
Yeah, up here, Pierre Lubuma can see.
So it's not a known phenomenon. For example, if my hands were caught in a cookies jar or quote unquote some corrupt practices, if I'm a minister or let's say a parliamentarian or lawmaker like we usually say in Liberia, and if I'm asked to resign, you know, in Liberia, I haven't seen the scenario. Yeah, it happened maybe in the 70s where we heard about a case where people then during the 70s, in the 80s, they have to resign from the parliament. But in the dispensation that we are in, and I can sense that people are willing to do such, to take some tougher action that will bring about changes.
Sometimes I wonder if you are alleged to be corrupt, and I wonder how you feel every day. You just in the press, people talking about you in the corner in the street, and you say hanging on. And sometimes, morally in these Western countries, in developed country, people respect themselves. As soon as they say boom,
Yeah.
you see the
They
president
will
say,
even step aside while
Yeah.
they are going through investigation.
but
But in our country, it's not the
it's
case.
not the case. You will see them. To make matter worse, you will see the very librarian that decry corruption as the
Some
one
will be
sometimes
going defending
who
him.
goes to the court and are raising placards protesting for their clients.
Yeah.
Let me put it that way, for their clients to be released, despite all the noise about people being corrupt, people stealing money. They are the same people who take telephone and call on the radio. The government is corrupt here and there, but one person is alleged to be corrupt. Is if it is a kingsman or if it is from their political institution, hey, they go in defense of that. So, Councillor Sherman, long time ago, should have even step aside. One of the problems that they have with him was the removal of Justice Janet. You know, since Chair Chipo, right? Since the trial of Chair Chipo, was it there was a since this constitution, there have not been a procedure crafted by both houses to try impeachment, and which is constitutional.
Yeah.
It says both houses shall meet and craft a resolution of determine the procedure how to try somebody who has been impeached by the lower house who is about to be impeached. But then Councillor Sherman, as chairman of judiciary, didn't allow that to happen. He used Rule 63 of the Senate standing rules, to impeach former Associate Justice Kabina Janet, which landed the country into trouble because we should pay plenty money back to the man, and so Rule 63 was the one used instead of a procedure that should have been adopted by both houses of the Liberal Senate of the legislature. So the American people also talk about that as well. They talk about the cyber money issue. So you will still be senator. Your colleagues will not tell you from there. You will still be senator. The people
but step aside from a position.
Yeah, because you are a lawyer who presides over the judicial committee, a committee that's supposed to be ensuring justice and is caught in the web. You have to go for the sake of the state. You have to go for the sake of the country. But again, the senators, Sherman, though, is a United Party man, but he's been down here one with the regime.
Yeah.
So and Albert Chie, the pro tempore, is down here one with the regime as well. So they have not been able to take much decision against them, especially Senator Johnson, unless when the U.S. government have to issue that kind of a report here against Senator Johnson.
Okay, you're watching LPR television. We live from Monrovia, Liberia. This is Issues of Today, and we're discussing several trending issues. We're sorry for some of the break that we've been experiencing from our network there, but howbeit we are back. We're going to take just a quick break to be right back. Please keep watching LPR-TV. We're live from Monrovia, and we sincerely apologize that some of our guys who were supposed to join us, they are not able to join us because of some technical reason.
Of a Woodland. Everyone that's looking for a nice African for wedding, whatever fabric you need, you can just come over here. You have all this nice stuff. If you need ashebi, you guys can come over here for baby shower, for wedding. You guys are welcome. She had really nice stuff. You can see all over there, all those men over here. You don't have to go to the theater and then they're going to be telling you all kind of stories. You can just come here. They're already made. And for ladies, you can just look for whatever fabric you're looking for and match it for the men. And, your husband already have a shirt made. You can get stuff for your kids. You can get stuff for the whole family. We have African slippers and ashobi hand ties all over. We have different kinds of lists and everything. So you guys are welcome, okay? It's really nice. It's Fabric Queen on 6695 off of Woodland. 6625 Woodland Avenue, okay? So you guys are welcome, 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 welcome. You have nice stuff here for ladies, for men, for kids, and for everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Fabric Queen of Philadelphia. Fabric Queen of Philadelphia is 100% African-owned business. At Fabric Queen, we are specialized in high-quality wax product, Swiss lace, jewelry, and beauty products that will make you shine like the queen of fabrics. We are located at 6625 on Woodlands Avenue, 10 Philadelphia. Telephone number 215-800-0228. Tell the management of Fabri's Queens in Philadelphia is easy and salt of the Liberia Public Radio gives you this message. Tell all Akwaba.
Okay, welcome.
Please listen to me. I had a lot of work to do at my office. combinato. Fast and traffic, rocket and traffic.
Welcome back, wherever you are. Welcome back. The song done by the late Toke Thomas is dead and gone. Welcome to Issues of Today, live from Liberia Public Radio, and of course on our YouTube page. And we are also live on our website www.liberiapublicradio.com. So our last issue for the next 20 minutes, we're going to talk about there was a help from Madagascar, the island country of Madagascar, that was offered by that was given to some countries. Liberia did benefited from this particular helps. It was made, and the president of Madagascar, he boasted so much about these helps that yes, has formed a cure for COVID-19. WHO then went on to condemn him for saying that COVID-19 was having a cure then. And it was a serious rigmarole between he and WHO. And then later on, he was infected by the COVID-19. You remember? Some of the officials, they even died from COVID-19. Liberia was one of the countries that did benefit from the Madagascar helps that were donated, free helps that were donated. But on a few days ago, we heard another side of this donation, that it was not a donation, but rather it was a purchase done.
Yeah, Andre Rajoelina, the president of Madagascar, in March, said, "Oh yeah, I found the cure for COVID made of herb XYZ." When we got our own, the press went there. So the debate is about this herb currently is that the president said was given as a gift from Mr. Rajoelina to the country, the African countries, to help who in the fight against this deadly COVID-19 that has ravaged the world. But then, quite recently, when the Minister of Health appeared before the Joint Public Account Committee, she gave a different version of the herb. She said, "Well, to bring it, to buy it and bring it, it worth $71,000, and 5% survive after taking the herbs." Yeah. So.
And who are those survivors?
So the debate now, the question lingering across the minds of Liberians is that how is it possible in the first place? The president said it was a gift, it was an offer from his compatriot from the island of Madagascar. Today, the Minister of Health is saying that they pay some the 1,000 to purchase it and bring it to the country. They play in the charter, where was a charter flight, strictly from Madagascar to Liberia. Yeah. So now people are questioning the honesty of the two people, whether the minister is saying truth. And I think the minister is the one who controls the Ministry of Health.
Yes.
So she
runs the day-to-day
activities of the Ministry of Health. So if she purchases the drug, the herbs, she won't lie to the people. Probably, maybe the president didn't want debate at that time when he said it was given to him, or probably he thought if he tells her that I bought this thing, 50,000-60,000 people will raise, there will be so much of issues in the country. Why should you buy the herb that's not tested? Because as you earlier said, the WHO said it has not been tested.
Yes.
And the debate was, many African argument was the WHO don't want Africa to prosper. They feel that when Africa find a cure, it will be a morale for the continent. The primitive way of Africans that the white man, he wants to see the black man prosper. So it used to be in the corner around here. So when I asked somebody, I said, wait, I told someone, I said, but is it herb tested? Or somebody just went and picked, because I live in the interior as well. You can easily walk in the bush and pick your little root, put water on it and take it in. Yeah, and you get well.
The measurement of it is another problem.
Many
of our herbs are not being measured.
It's another problem. So did he take this to the lab? Don't forget about the quantity, but is it proving? Is it her proving that has it been given to anybody in Madagascar? And the person came of life. By that time, Madagascar had not even recall a lot of cases of the coronavirus. So, and today, the Public Account Committee heard that we actually paid $71,000 for it. So the president remains tight-lipped, and a lot of media institutions are raising the issue as to whether the president can tell us whether he erred by saying it was a gesture from the people of Madagascar to their president, Andrew Rajoelina, or the Ministry of Health to Minister Wilmina Jala is lying.
I think the ministry needs to, the executive mansion needs to provide some level of clarity on this whole issue, because we are in a doubt, especially we from the media, we are in a doubt that, yes, on one occasion, the president said, yes, this is a free gift given to us by Madagascar for us to have it, for us to be killed from the COVID-19. And even many people were wishing. I tell you, it was just a single cartoon. It was a single cartoon. And that cartoon welcoming ceremony, it was not an easy stop in Liberia. Yeah. So, and it is proving that we purchased one cartoon. I don't know how many. It was not even a gallon of liquid. We purchased it, spending an amount of $71,000. So the 1,000, if you were to do the math in Liberian dollars, let's just do it in Liberian dollars. You could be talking about almost $1 million Liberian dollars.
More than $1 million.
Why would the government of Liberia spend such an amount?
That's a question. And how to get to kill 500 human beings.
So if you were to do the math, for example, in Liberian dollar, in the Liberian currency, you're going to be talking about 12 million. 70,000 Liberian dollars.
Liberian pool money.
And if this amount you were to pay the school fees of this amount can pay almost 1,500 student fees.
That's a good bit of money.
Yes.
That we just give to, I don't know whether we pay it at Madagascar.
And if you were to talk about subsidizing a university, for example, if we were to talk about giving some the 1,000 to AMU University, for example, that could help alleviate cover significant portion of their expenditure. If you were to build a school from this, maybe a minimum we can say it could be a one elementary school in rural Liberia, for example. But this amount was used to purchase herbs that were not approved even by that many people contain. So what's the sincerity from our government?
Even if it was approved, what's the impact it had on the fight against COVID-19? For example, in Brazil, Jair Bolsonaro is now facing parliamentary questioning as to how he handled the COVID-19.
Of course,
because he was one of those presidents like Trump, like Magufuli, like him. They were group of people who were opposed to the whole lockdown thing. Don't shut down the economy. Like Brazil, like America, is a federal form of government where they got governors, and governors are elected, so they command some level of power in their states. So the governor of Sao Paulo, Brazil, one of the cities in Brazil, the mayor of Sao Paulo, one of the cities in Brazil, will tell the guy, said, no, we have to shut down because people die, and
he denies the country won't shut down.
Yeah, and Brazil recorded one of the worst deaths in COVID-19. You're talking about America, you're talking about Brazil, now you're talking about India. So it came, even the Indian Prime Minister for he was hesitant and in locking down the country. So they were much more concerned about the economy and how people will lose their jobs, XYZ. But the very people you tend to protect as the one who are supposed to die from the virus if they contract the virus. So we got to ask fundamental questions need to be asked about how funds were used regarding this whole COVID-19 thing. Here we are now, we make reaction. First, we heard that it was a gift. Now we're hearing that we bought it, 71,000 to transport it and pay for it. We have $71,000.
And it speaks
So
volume to the extent that Liberia sincerity of having COVID cases. I remember at one of the press conferences, the Minister of Health, that Dr. Jala said that uh, not Jala but Musuka Fala, the former head of the Public Health Institute of Liberia, he was saying that WHO had the money, IMF had some money that was given to some countries that were affected by COVID, but then Liberia at the time had not recorded any case of COVID. So Liberia needed to benefit from that money, according to him at that press conference. So they did it that Liberia could have a case so that Liberia can benefit from the amount. What's the sincerity in such case? I think it was not fair on the part of
the leaders,
the government, or the leaders, or the head of those
those institutions.
Yeah.
So it is now up to the Public Account Committee of the legislature to recommend prosecution because of late since last month they've been doing public hearing on some of the audits report by the GAC and presented before them. Some of them in that legislature too are naming some of those audit reports. So whether they will compromise some of these reports, we don't know. People will need to graduate from the whole issue of impunity in our country. People need to start paying the price for their action. If not so, Liberia will just be like the former vice president put yesterday. We are existing.
Yeah.
We're not living.
Yeah.
Because some of the things we are supposed to be doing to live, we're not putting into place.
Yeah.
Somebody will just get to the public space.
Because living has a standard, though.
Has a standard. Somebody we eat public money. Don't they just get they don't get say with bravery.
Yes.
With bravery, they just take it and eat it, and they don't have time. They say nothing will come from already. And so definitely nothing is going to come from already. So people got to start to pay for their actions. Until we get there, until we start doing these things, it will be very, very, very much difficult as to where we get as a country. So every generation will just come and complain. Nothing will be done. So we hope that all of the audits and all the hearings that are being done by the Public Account Committee. So every generation will just come and complain.
Sorry for that. Sorry for this.
Nothing will be done.
We sincerely apologize for the breaking there due to some technical issue of it. Ella, just go ahead.
Yeah, so we need to start punishing people. People need to start paying the price for their action. Unless we do that, I'm sorry, we're not going nowhere with this. We're going anywhere with this.
Yes, surely. So you're watching LPR television. Issues of today is what we on. We want to say thank you for joining us. We have just had a few more minutes to call you there on today's presentation of issues of today. But we've been receiving some comments. Let's just read some of them on our on Facebook. It says I'm watching from LPR headquarters in Monrovia. And let's start from up and come down. This is let's get it right. Joseph Koyenen Paul says we cannot hear you. Okay, that was the technical stuff that we were doing. He also continued to say ex-VP JMB need to be given a honor. That should be an honorable retirement so as to enjoy himself in his nursing home near the beautiful forest of Lofa. Our country, Liberia, deserves better than following GMB to lay us in his grave. We need a young, visionary, and vibrant leader that will, it says, let me get it from here. We need a vibrant young leader that will
lead into the promised land.
that lead into the promised land. Where is he going? Where is the promised land? Where is the promised land? Joseph Konyene. Maybe you know the promised land. He also went on to say, this one is from ad that Emperor Dokpi, who told you that Joe Biden was not a popular figure. Well, we were saying this, that Joe Biden, what we're saying that Joe Biden was not as popular as when he decided to become president for the United States of America. Anybody can bear us witness of that. Even the former president, Trump was not a popular figure. He was a reality television host. He was not a popular figure as he was.
Maybe he's
when
discussing
he became president.
He's discussing the popularity in the context of America. He
Yeah.
was popular in America, but around the world,
no.
nobody.
Okay, Joseph Koyeni Paul also said that the CPP oppositions are in the constant habit of abusing other personality, like the ex-VP Joseph Boaka. He was the same thing. It was the same thing the Democratic Party in the United States did by giving America's Joe Biden, who is now collapsing and falling here and there, even on steps of Air Force One.
But even you're making a fall.
So again, the issue of falling to is not about age. Even young people, those of us we are not even quite 40 yet.
It's a mere questioning the
approaching
decision
our
of
40s.
people in America.
Sometimes we slip. The strength. Sometimes we slip. So again, it depends where you are and the position you are and how you walk. Sometimes you slip. So again, it's not about it. Because Biden is sometimes misses his steps. That does not mean that he's critically ill and so forth. Joseph Koyenin Paul also went on to say that guys, because the CPP oppositions have turned our country Liberia into Bible's Lazarus, begging for crumbs that falls from the rich in men's tables. And to be frank, there is a saying in Liberia that whatever that goes into your stomach control your direction. He went on to say there are some people who still believe in the slave master relationship. So every little issue that happens, which we as a country can discuss and settle, they will always run to Washington D.C. their slave master. Well, Washington, we can say that Washington.
Well, you say CPP and the government put in Washington, huh?
Yeah, the government is even looking for a backing from Washington.
Washington.
So what will you say that Washington is a slave master?
Running to Washington. CPP can't even go to Washington to go meet anybody there because they don't want power.
That reminds me of the statement that the former VP made yesterday that some CPP officials, not CPP, but some officials of the government were in Washington meeting desk officers and some drivers, because the official discussion of bilateral talks are discussed either in the White House or somewhere that is controlled by the government of the United States of America, not to maybe hotels and so other places.
Yeah, but let's wait and see when they get back. What would they be bringing? because the vice president said when he travels, he remember when he went to Malaysia, he brought I don't know golden variola. Yeah, you see, Sanu or Grand Crew now. When he
Yeah.
went to Malaysia, the Millennium Compact Challenge,
Yeah.
he met Obama and they talked some issue. He said when they traveled, they brought some things. So they wait and see. But he said they are not meeting top guys that will bring the result.
Yeah.
But we should wait and see. But what I think happening to the government is that they don't appear to really understand why people go to school to learn public relations. It's a very, very serious minor aspect of government. And it's paid for. It's not a cheap thing.
Yeah.
You got to spend some money in it to get things done. People got to lobby on your behalf. Not get to go to America. Even the great America got lobbyists.
Yes.
When they want to get some things done in other people in the country,
They have friends.
they got friends,
Like
they got people that they use to lobby. So they pay people for it. All the country around the world must have a lobby. So, and these are public relations experts. In America, they got public relations firm. People who know how to lobby and get things done for other people, and they are paid. Some firm get $200,000 to $300,000 get from the government. The government say, "Mama, you have to make sure we meet Washington." Because if you spend $200,000 to $300,000 and meet Washington
5 million
and get
10 million.
$5 million in
Profit.
return, is a profit. So there's no reasons why you will say you can spend such a money and you want to overlook public relations and you say you do propaganda here with radio that are against you. You will not support them. It won't work that way. It won't work that way. In fact, these Westerners with our embassies around here, they listen to independent media. They don't just take all the media into consideration. They know the kind of a media that they listen to. So the government got to strengthen a public relations arm in that light so that they can be able to get the necessary result as we are with them to arrive from.
I think in terms of public relations, we are government hasn't done much in terms of disseminating information in a chronological order, and organizational communication too is a problem. There are not many strategists within the government arena to ensure that information are given in a chronological order and the truth telling to despite of public administration
because
communication 30.
They what they're doing is that they're doing publicity stunt.
Yeah.
When something happened, they all fly on Facebook. So, but the president too have not been forceful in some of the things he said. I remember when he gave a memo that not everybody should be speaking for the government, but it's been ignored, and everybody still speaking for the government. Every small thing happens, you go on the social media, people still talking for the government, deputy minister, assistant minister. So sometimes all of them gave a contradicting statement on a specific issue that matters. So they just make the Ministry of Information look like it is not in existence, it's not there, and everybody must speak on behalf of the government. When they talk over Neela, you used to see when by that time DeLong was our senator. Yeah, I can remember when DeLong was on radio. One minister left from his office and ran to the radio station to go and react to Senator DeLong, and I said, "Wow, is this how public relations like? Is that how you defend the government? Let the man speak. Another time you will have the time to come back and then react to what he said." But Fagon did it another time. Fagon said forcefully got to enter OKFM studio to debunk Darius DeLong. So they got to work on that. If they don't work on that, it will just be the local publicity. And they need things to be done. They need support. We are a poor country, obviously. We need bilateral agreement. We need the UN. We need the World Bank, the European. All of the partners are needed currently to drive our development forward. We need our big brothers, So nobody can say mentality currently. You don't got nothing, to be frank. There is nothing available. So, Mr. Paul, there is nothing we got. We just have to strengthen ourselves and make our democracy strong. Maybe the book can trust us and give us some money.
Okay, you've been listening to Issues of Today on Liberia Public Radio. We've been live here from with the growth and development of our country, Mama Liberia, to talk about it here. And this program is taking its usual weekend break to be right back on Tuesday. Hopefully, we are here Tuesday and Thursday. I think Paul, Mr. Konyene also said, okay, let's read his last comment here. He says, I disagree with VP JMB on one of the meetings on the issue of meeting drivers and desk officers because of the government delegation met with the United States UN representative top Joe Biden officials. Well, Paul, we can't authenticate that as a whether or the we are delegation, the we are government delegation that went to Washington did meet with top Joe Biden officials. Again, we cannot authenticate that because we are journalists. We can say what have been said or what have been known to the public. So we can say yes. Uh, they met Joe Baka is not saying the right thing. They met officials of
But they
government.
know it's a job. Even if Joe said it, they know it'll be a job. So maybe if they want to take care of the issue again, they can go and react to it. But he was just throwing jobs, which is normal in our political arena.
Okay, so thank you ever so much for watching LPR-TV. My name is Mark. Edward Cody, my Cody has been here again. Hopefully, next week we're going to be here with a very fascinating issue again. Keep following Liberia Public Radio and keep sharing some of our amazing videos.
Are you looking for a program to promote your business, products, or services? Then look no further. So Visit is your trust for you. It's a 30 minutes program with Liberia Public Radio TV. On the Visit, we promote your businesses, discover sites, showcase your products, and tell your stories. Join me, Diana, calling the Liberia Public Radio every Wednesdays and Fridays, 1 p.m. or 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So Visit, bringing everything as a
Everybody, everything's going bad. The situation getting worse. Everybody in the country getting mad. It's on the state, poverty on the rise. The leaders them making into promises with no damn strategies. Yeah, this is better days, money in the pockets. Oh, after holidays only for the bosses. Yeah, there's a better days, money in your pockets. Oh, after holidays only for the bosses. Oh yo, hey, what about the children? What about the people? What about your families? What are gonna eat? Yeah, so Sophie and we waiting you. Yeah, so
Go Zone Liberia, promoting talents through academic.
Schools on Liberia. My creativity. Schools on Liberia.
I wanna thank the Lord for this organization of motivation all through this nation. Schools on Liberia. You not do it again, no. Schools on Liberia. Yeah. So get prepared for us. We coming there to your school. If you can sing, dance, and rap, now you we coming you. We here to promote the talent. That been heading for years. We here to promote the talent.
Why are we going? Is that not our community?
Yes, that is our community, but we can cross here.
Why?
We need to go to the junction or walk to cross safely.
How?
Because the traffic will stop or go slow.
Okay, let's go.
administration, let us help the parents bring the talent out of the children. At school Zoom, there is a way to bring it out. Yeah. You don't need to bring discrimination. You don't need to be a rapper with the singers and dancers. And not everybody was born to.
Greta, what are you waiting for? Let's go.
No, not yet.
What again?
we need to wait for a police instruction. No, we are just full. We need to wait for others to cross.
Okay.
We've been waiting, praying for this opportunity. Yeah. School zone, Liberia. Too many talents in your children, talents in the land. It's too glad to see. Yeah. Step aside, yeah. We don't give up. So guide the children through what they want to do. They need your prayers and your guidance. They need protection and your direction. Yeah. Mama, Papa, never neglect them. They need you now. They need you later with us.
If there are no police officers, were we not going to crash?
Yes, we were going to cross, but we were going to ask an older person to help us cross.
This is Liberian Public Radio. We are live here in Central Monrovia, where today there's a demonstration taking place. This demonstration has long been planned with the head, Mr. Henry Costa, who has said that President George Weah should answer to their demand. According to him, on June 7, there were several demands made by President George Weah so that they can answer. As you can see, the crowd there, they are demanding that the president answer to their counts. About 5 counts they are listed into their petition. We're hoping that their petition will be presented today to the president, the excellency President George Weah. As you can see in Monrovia, security is dead tech. As we speak in Monrovia, things are going on. Parts of Central Monrovia as it is virtual.
Wholeheartedly welcome you on the official Facebook outlet of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR-TV in the USA and Liberia. Our deepest appreciation to the hard-working team in the USA and Liberia for keeping the wheel of the industry moving forward. And of course, to our many followers and viewers, we say thank you for believing in us. You can also contact us at 682-433-8802. Email address lprmorovia2018@gmail.com and Liberia Public Radio 2012@gmail.com. Thank you.